All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video and to stay tuned on in, because we have a lot to cover here with CTRM. I have two ticker symbols to share with you that I briefed on earlier this morning over at the Discord. If you're interested in that, you can check out the Discord link down below to join me and the other investors in our private community over at the Patreon. You'll get access to the weekly watch list and the daily stocks I'm watching, as well as all the information with the stock market and emotional intelligence series that I'm getting started. Now, I want you guys to be aware that we also have a ticker symbol to share towards the very end that I want you guys to not miss, that you actually should add to your watch list moving forward and look for a pullback, do some research on the stock. It's a huge stock company, okay? It's a large cap, and it has a lot of room on the upside based off of analysis ratings, and it's already up $7 since I mentioned it over at the Patreon. So here we are with CTRM, Castor Maritime Inc. So CTRM has been in a downward trend. I've said that this needs to stay above $1. Now, as it continues to go lower, there will be a point that it could reverse, but as of right now, even though today, right, that little jump that we had that was almost 10 cents, almost about 10 to 11 cents, that seemed like a reversal. And once I put the 30-minute, you guys will see what I'm talking about. It seemed like an opportunity, but I feel like we need to watch this carefully. And if it breaks through the low that was reached today, which was 45 cents, this could head on towards the point of 33 cents. Okay, we talked about the 45-cent range already. It got touched. It's holding up above it. If it doesn't get broken through, this could be the reversal time. But if it does, okay, it's on its way to 33 cents. We need to watch it carefully between 45 cents and 33 cents. And then there will be a point, hopefully in time, right, that there will be a reversal. But right now, and you put the 1 day, it touched the RSI and it continues to break through it. And it still has room based off the history of the chart. If you think about the history of the chart, this stock has been pulling downwards every single time beyond that entry right there. Now, this is one of the few times that it was struggling to get back up. It was kind of fighting this and that, and then it started to pull back up over time until it created that bullish run that we experienced. And that bullish run did not start in January. It had started with the volume from August. So keep in mind, CTRM is going to take hard work to bring itself back up. That's why this needed to stay above $1 or close to it. Now, in the MACD, pulled down pretty far down, and it has a lot more room. It's just getting started. Now, could it start bringing itself back up? It could be something to watch. But when we put here the 30-minute, you can see how it actually has jumped up pretty much a lot. And even if it jumps up again and the MACD is showing like a recovery, so forth, it could pull up a little bit more, maybe touch the 60s, and then it's going to start to pull back down again and continue to go lower, right? Because that's sometimes what happens when you see the RSI and the MACD working what it does. It kind of shows you, once it kind of gets up here and it kind of, gets up here, this is actually working its way up, and it kind of gets to that point. And all of a sudden, when this starts to turn around and keep going down and then pull back down. Now, when it was pulling back down the last time it did that, it was up here. So it pulled down to here. Now it kind of pulled itself back up. And now when it gets pulled down, it's going to get pulled down below that point of 45 cents. If it does, the next point of reference is 33 cents. So I want you guys to be aware of that and pay close attention to this. Now, if this loses traction in the 30-minute and it loses traction even from here, and then it gets back to, looking at it at the 1 day, how it's been reacting, and it can continue going lower, and this has room to possibly go a little bit lower, this stock could possibly pull itself back, even if it pulls up a little bit more. We need to watch it carefully. I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware of that. But if this turns out to be the bottom, we won't see 33 cents. 45 cents turns out to be the bottom, and this stock could consolidate or pull up, pull back down a little bit, and consolidate a little bit higher until the next catalyst, and so forth, building that staircase effect to slowly build momentum upwards. We need to watch that carefully. So here we are with our resistance and support. So let's just go ahead and look at this based off of what we see here. So the 50-day moving average, 52 cents, and our support here is 49. If that gets broken through, watch how it's reacting between 49 and down here at 45 cents. Now our resistance on the close end is right here at 52 cents, just slightly above the 50-day moving average. Once that gets crossed, we're in bullish territory. But for the bulls to pull upwards, reach newer highs, they need to cross 54 cents. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell to not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community so they can receive this insight as well. And smash that like button. It helps out the YouTube channel. I appreciate it very much. And let's jump right into these other stocks that I want you guys to be aware of. So the ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list is a very big company. They did a stock split and they've gone up $7 since I mentioned it. It's a slow mover, but definitely one to watch. I think it still has some more upside. But before we jump into it, here we have on the screen a chart to one of the stocks I briefed on this morning. If this is something that interests you, you can definitely join me and the other investors over at the Patreon and Discord. And there's some very bright, smart investors over there, learning investors, beginning investors, and even experienced investors. Very privileged to have them all over at the Patreon, and we're looking forward to you joining us as well. So right here, it was sitting at 160 when I briefed on it. So let's go ahead and look here, the time frame that I went ahead and mentioned it. It was 8:46 a.m. SFET has jumped and has news coming out that they're approved vendor for NASA Solutions. Interesting one. It is at 160. Volume is picking up too. So literally right there is 8:46. 8:47 is the timestamp, and it was sitting at 160. And it's kind of funny that it ended the day post-market at 160. That was like probably the support / resistance of the whole day. But from that point forward, it jumped up and it hit 178. That right there was a 10 to 12% gain. We're looking for 5 to 10% every single morning, and that's it. No more. We're not greedy. We just want our 5 to 10%. Anything beyond 10%, I call it a home run. Anywhere between 10 to 15 is pretty reasonable, but anything beyond 15, 20, that's a home run. And this one was pretty close of a home run at 12% gain, right? But I'm just rounding it down to 10%. It was 2 cents away from 10%. So this one right here definitely ran up pretty fast, and that was within minutes. If you look at the timestamp here, 8:47, all the way up to the peak here at 8:52 in just a few minutes. Now, another one which was very interesting, no pun intended, and the ticker symbol is very. I talked about it at 8:11, and we could see the timestamp here, and it was right here, 8:11. Very just pulled back and touched $14. One to watch, especially with this kind of volume. Already ran once this morning, and it has been pulling down. So this one close to 8:11. It had hit a low here, right here around this time. You could see it here around this time. It was starting to fall, and it hit a low here of about $14. All right, a few minutes after that, and it bounced up to 14 and some change, fell back down to 13 and some change, and bounced up to 15. So this one gave close to 10% if you just waited a few minutes. This one took almost 30 minutes. Now it pulled back, and once the market opened, right, it hit a low of 14.17, and it shot up right away to 20.64 and hitting a high of $21 in just a matter of an hour. Okay, this was a big home run. This was almost 50% jump within an hour. And I told you guys that 5 to 10% is what we're looking for. This was a big play here, and it was kind of just sitting sideways, and it took off. So if you're interested in opportunities like this one, definitely join us over at the Patreon. So here we are with the ticker symbol I want you guys to add to your watch list, and we're going to see when I mentioned it. And by the way, the links are down below. I didn't mention that. The links are down below for the Discord and Patreon. So NextEra Energy, NEE. Let's go ahead and put this on the 30-minute so we can look at it a little bit more comfortable. And you could see here how this stock pulled back, and it hit a low of $68. And when I mentioned it, let's go ahead and look at what date it was. I went ahead and mentioned this on the 21st, and right there is charge point. I've talked about this one several times, so I left it there. But charge point has been another one of our great opportunities since the 21st. But NextEra Energy, I wanted it to get closer to $60. That was me being greedy. But anything close to 70, 68 was a steal on this one, okay? And this stock did a stock split back in October, okay? And it was getting back to pre-split numbers. That's what was making it even more interesting, because we may not see those numbers again. So when I mentioned it on March 21st, right, it had actually gone downwards, right? It was this weekend right here, sitting close to $72 and some change, right? And then it dipped, right, on the 22nd, down to $70 and some change. We never saw it touch that again. Bounced back up, came back down to 71, and since 71, it's been shooting up, okay? Just going down, up and down, up and down. This is a company I suggest doing your research on, and its peak here after the split was $87. So it's $10 away from its highest point. I believe this has room to even break through that. Now, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But this stock has been hitting newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, newer highs. This is a tremendous company, huge company, and institutional ownership is big. I'm talking about close to the trillions, okay? Think about that on how much they own. They own large amounts of this company. It's huge. Like, you look up how much Vanguard owns, and it's like hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's like, when you look it up on Google, it does 0.0 something something trillion. Like, they're basically telling you, like, they got a lot. They got a lot. The value is a lot. But you can also see too how their revenue has become smaller, but not because of their business model, but because I think of innovation, right? They're reinvesting that net income. So they're still profitable, and they're reinvesting the money for innovation. I mean, big things. And when you actually zoom out and you look at this from the one day, you know, this has been a growing company all its time. Like, really think about it. It's a huge deal, and you're going to be able to own a piece of it. It's pretty cool. But this isn't something that's going to get you rich overnight. We always focus here on Invest for Tomorrow, maximizing profits, minimizing losses, and focusing in on opportunities. So if you feel like you missed this one because you didn't catch it at $70, it's all right. You can watch it for a pullback. And if you feel like this is not for you, that's cool. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold any positions, but I am here to enlighten you. And at the end of the day, if this pulls back or just continues going up or kind of sits sideways for a little bit, this stock will be higher than where we see it today. Just look at that one-day chart, okay? Once upon a time, these were the present days, and I would always say this, and I'm saying it right now. Today's prices are cheaper than tomorrow's, and this is a good chart to go ahead and show you that true statement. These days were once today, and those today's prices were cheaper than tomorrow's, and tomorrow is right here, the bigger picture. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.